Hi, welcome to the very first episode on the podcast Get Ahead with Anna Jed. I'm your host. I'm Anna, a 22-year-old medical student in my fourth year currently, and I challenged myself to become a UGC creator this month. It's March 2025, and in this first episode, I will explain what UGC is, how you can get started with my 6-step plan, and my tips and tricks. I will also explain what this podcast will be about, so stay tuned for that. But first, let me introduce myself. I live in the Netherlands. I am actually broadcasting this episode from my teeny tiny 16 square meters dorm room in Leiden. And I have always been quite creative, but I always focused on school and grades first. So you wouldn't catch me spending a Sunday painting, for example, like I did today, because I went to a sip and paint event to make content, so that's very exciting. But I always had the urge to create something, to launch something of my own, and to be independent financially. I have been working since I was 12, very random jobs, like for example, I was delivering newspapers, or I was finding new donators, it's called? No. I was working for a charity to find people to donate to them. I would be working at supermarkets, grocery stores, all of that. And I quickly found out that it's quite exhausting to work for an hourly wage, a minimum hourly wage, let me correct that. And it was very exhausting to exchange my time for money. So I started looking into different ways to make money online specifically. And at 18 years old, I bought my very first online course. It was on social media marketing, and it would teach me how to market and how to set up my own agency. But it was quite a big flop, I'm not gonna lie, because I bought it, and I'm gonna be very transparent. It was 1,200 euros. So for an 18-year-old, that's a lot. I had to save 2 months of salary for that. And it actually didn't teach me how to market at all because I had to pitch to clients immediately. So that was very confusing. And then I started university, and medical school is very intense, and especially first year is hard to get through. So I didn't have any time anymore to work on that course, unfortunately. But it did open up my mind to different ways to make money, and different ways to set up income streams, because everyone around me was working. It's very common in the Netherlands for teenagers to be working. I think we have the highest percentage of teenagers who work in high school in Europe. And so it was very common, and I was used to it. But then I realized, okay, but I can create something, and then it will become a passive income stream, and it will create money for me. But the first income stream that I created was actually investing. So I started to invest in exchange traded fund, the S&P 500, the 500 biggest companies in the world, and that kind of made the ball roll. So I rolled into making money online. And then I hit rock bottom in my gap year between my bachelor and my master, because medical school in the Netherlands is divided up into 3 years, 2 times. First 3 years bachelor, then 3 years master. And I had quite some time in my hands. And it's quite weird, but when you go from 100 to 0, it puts you in this limbo. During that gap year, I felt very lonely and lost, and I am 22, but I don't know what I want to do with my life. Yes, I want to become a doctor, but I want to thrive in the meantime and not survive on student loans month to month. So I decided on becoming a content creator. So I created content on Instagram, short form content mostly, and I just started posting consistently in January. But then I realized if I want to build a big following, it's going to take a long time. So I wanted to set up some kind of income stream from this content creation process. And that's when I discovered UGC. Now, UGC is user-generated content. And the first UGC creator that I noticed was Thien Vu. Vo. I think I pronounced it in French. Thien Vu? Team Vu? I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, by the way. But okay, let's call him Vo. So Vo was really inspiring to me because he documented his UGC journey from day one. So he seemed very approachable to me, and I thought to myself, wow, this is something that I can actually do. UGC seems like a very realistic business idea. Just because, to be honest, the social media marketing agency seemed quite far-fetched, and I didn't truly believe that I could set that up. But with UGC, I had belief in myself, and it made me confident that this will work out. So I started browsing YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, any social media platforms to research this online business model. And that's when I discovered that it was way easier to get started as a UGC creator in US, UK, Australia, because UGC started to become a big industry in US, and then it kind of flew over to Europe. But brands in Europe are not as aware of the benefits of UGC, so it's hard to get paid collaborations. And I was lacking information about how to set this up as a Dutch UGC creator. I literally found, I think, maybe 3 YouTubers talking about it. And because I had trouble finding good resources, I decided, wait, why don't I become a source of knowledge? So that's why I set up this podcast. And it's called Get Ahead because especially in your 20s, you feel like you're behind all the time. And I want to interview people that inspire me, UGC creators, but also other young entrepreneurs that make me feel like they are offering me valuable advice that I can use to get ahead and boost my entrepreneurial journey. So in this podcast, I really want to unpack what motivates people to start a business, what keeps them going, why they started it in the first place, and really reveal their unfiltered journey. And I want to know what systems they have in place, how they structure their days, their weeks, their months, how they balance content creation, and especially if they have a 9-to-5 or they are a full-time student. And I just want to know how they manage content if they do it full-time, especially. So let's get back to basics. What is UGC? UGC stands for user-generated content, and as the name itself reveals, it's content made by people, customers, that use the products or services of the brands that they are promoting. And if you would compare influencers to UGC creators, influencers have a big following, usually. They have a platform where they post their collaborations or partnerships. So the advertisements that they make are on their platform. And UGC creators don't have a big following because it's not necessary. And the videos that they make for the brands are posted on the brand's platform. So you don't need to be posting your advertisements for the brands on your platform. The content differs as well because as a UGC creator, it's your top priority to make authentic, relatable content that people resonate with. You describe some kind of problem that you're facing, which other people might be facing as well, and then you describe how you solved it, what you discovered, and how that can help them too. While influencers make content that exudes an energy of, I was paid to say this, and people trust that less because people want to buy products or services from real people facing real relatable problems that they are facing as well. When I decided to become a UGC creator, I was told that it was quite easy to enter this business field, but honestly, it's quite difficult to start, to build your brand, to build your credibility. But it's like the egg and a chicken theory, right? Because you want a collaboration, but the people looking for UGC creators want to have creators that already had previous collaborations to prove their credibility. So let's get to the juicy part about how to get started with my 6-step plan. This is the plan that I followed this month because I started on the 3rd of March and it's currently the 30th of March. So it has been exactly a month. And this plan helped me to structure my days and my weeks to really achieve my goals. And my goal, by the way, was to get 5,000 euros within 2 months because at the end of April, I'm starting my clinical rotations as a medical student, which means I will be having a rough 9 to 5, maybe like an 8 to 5 because you have to be earlier at the hospital. So I really wanted to set this up within 2 months, and I will update you about my journey because 1 month has passed. But first, how do you get started? So, number 1, make your example videos. Because to become a UGC creator, you need to be making videos for brands. You need to practice the skill. You need to become familiar with your camera, editing, how to talk, how to script your videos, and you need to find out what works. So literally just pick up random objects, products that you use on a daily basis, film events that you go to, services that you use, things that you really like and that really improve your life. Because as a UGC creator, you want to collaborate with brands that you truly care about, that align with your mission and vision. I would start out by making 6 videos. And I encourage you to make different types of videos. You can make an unboxing, a testimonial, a get ready with me and incorporate a product naturally. You can use a voiceover, you can make a talking head, and really incorporate all your skills, right? And you really want to show off your skills. So use those transitions, show off your editing skills, and really embrace your uniqueness. What you will need to get started is just a tripod. That's all you need. But honestly, I didn't invest in a tripod at first. I literally used a glass, put my phone in it, and then just placed it wherever I need it. So you don't have to invest immediately, but a tripod is very handy because you are more flexible in where you can film and the angles that you use. And later on in the process, you can invest in microphones, a macro lens, a backdrop, maybe a good camera. But honestly, the beauty of UGC is that it's relatable. So it's fine if you just film it on your phone because that makes it seem more real, right? The thing is, UGC has become such a big industry because people don't feel connected to polished advertisements anymore. So the very high production videos that depict unachievable results before and afters or really beautiful shots, they just seem very distant from real life. And that's why UGC is such a powerful way to market your brand. Okay, back to the 6 steps. Number 2 is you make your portfolio on Canva. It's very approachable, very easy to use, and you can literally host your own site, but it will have my Canva site in your domain name. You can buy a domain, but you can invest later in that as well. Having a domain name is just more professional, but I don't feel like there's anything wrong with having a free domain. Within your portfolio, within your landing page, your website, you need to incorporate the color theory. Because you need to realize this is the first thing that the potential clients see. This is their first impression of you. What do you want to exude? What do you want to attract? What kind of vibe do you want to give off, right? For example, in my portfolio, I use the color brown. I have a color palette of different shades of brown because brown represents something steady, something trustworthy, reliable. And you have to research what the color that you use stands for. Because, for example, if I would use pink, that would exude a very feminine side, a very playful one. Do I want to be an approachable, feminine UGC creator? Now, another tip for your portfolio is to put little icons of your socials, for example, your Instagram, TikTok, X, and your mail, and then put a hyperlink to that icon, attach it to the icon. So when you click on it, you will be redirected to your socials immediately. Another very important tip is to turn off autoplay. If you put a video on your Canva website, it will immediately play when you open the website. But this is very chaotic because you might have 10 videos on your website and then they all play at the same time. So you want to turn that off in Canva, and that will make it seem more professional because your potential client will be able to click on every separate video and see what they find important and interesting. The structure of your portfolio is for another episode entirely, so I will not dive into that, but I will cover it in next episodes. Step number 3 is signing up to freelance platforms. This is very important because it puts you on the map and it will make it easier to get paid collaborations. I'm talking about Fiverr, Upwork, I think it's called Pizza Link or Link Pizza, Influi, Influentials, those are Dutch UGC platforms. And if you already have 2,500 followers on your Instagram, you can also sign up to Barter Deals. Barter Deals is an app where you can find gifted collaborations with brands, which is also very nice because you'll receive free products and you can build your portfolio with that. Step number 4 is search for other UGC portfolios. And this is something so smart because you can see how they structure their portfolio, what kind of layout they use. You can see what services they offer, how much they ask for it, what their prices are. And based on their previous collaborations, you can make a business contact information list. And this is a very important step because you will use this for your outreach. And I recommend looking for small, medium brands because it's easier to work with them. And when you are looking through all these UGC portfolios, just jot every brand down, and then later on you can find their email address. Usually they have a general customer service email address, but if they have an email address specifically for marketing or UGC, use that one because it's easier. Another tip that I got from a UGC creator online is to look up the head of marketing on LinkedIn and then find their personal email address because that will make it easier to connect with them and maybe get a potential collaboration. Also, when you are scrolling on your phone, you are not relaxing anymore. You are doing business because when you will see UGC ads while you're scrolling, you will note down those businesses because these brands already work with UGC creators. So you know they are open to those collaborations and you can email and contact them later on. Moving on to step number 5. Now that you have your business information contact list, you will move on to pitching to brands through email and Instagram DM. I will also make a different episode on pitching and provide you with examples, how it works, and how to go about it. But I will briefly touch upon that in this step. And your first step when pitching to brands is set up a different business email account because this will make you more credible. And it will also just be way easier to keep an overview of all your emails when you have a different business account. Then also make a signature. This can be your logo or a picture of you with your contact information that you put at the end of your email. Now, step number 6 is start posting on social media. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to build your own personal brand. To be frank, reaching out to brands and pitching to them is so time consuming. So you want brands to come to you. We call these inbounds, and people that you reach out to are called outbounds. And when you start posting on social media, you put yourself out there and you're more easy to reach. So start posting those reels and TikToks and document your professional business journey on LinkedIn. You can start a podcast like I did, or you can post long form content on YouTube, sharing tips and tricks, interviewing people, whatever floats your boat. And a pro tip that I got from a full-time UGC creator is follow up on brands after a month. If they haven't responded, email them again. Or if they have responded and said that they didn't need any UGC creators, email them again, ask them if they need them after a month. Now, an optional step is to sign up to an agency, because when you have a manager, this will make it easier for you to attract more paid collaborations, and you seem more credible because you're part of an agency and you seem more trustworthy. You have a bigger chance to get hired, and it's also really nice. I signed up to an agency myself because I now have a little team of other UGC creators that I can use as my community and that I can share tips with, ask questions to, because right now I don't have any friends who do UGC as well, so in that way I can connect to like-minded people. Now, to set things straight, I will tell you what you can expect as a UGC creator in the Netherlands based on my experience. You will get a lot of rejections. You have to get used to that because it's normal. But you can turn those rejections into a learning point because you can ask them for feedback. Ask them what lacked in your portfolio or why you weren't a match for their brand and what you can change, so you can take that with you for other potential collaborations. Now, some brands start out with gifted collaborations because they just want to test the water, see if this collaboration is something they want to pursue later on. And I would say take those gifted collaborations in the beginning because you want to build your portfolio. You want to make more videos for your portfolio so you can diversify, especially as a European creator. The chances are higher that you will get more gifted collaborations because brands are still hesitant to work together with UGC creators. But you can just use them to your advantage and build your credibility by asking for reviews and testimonials. In that way, you can expand your portfolio and make yourself more credible. Another tip that I got from a very big Dutch UGC creator, she's called Zoe Bakker, and she also has her own course, and it's called UGC Academy, I think. And she said, always over deliver. So give them more than what they ask for so that they will be just like baffled by your professionality. Then also expect to negotiate a lot. So the priority here is to upsell. If they want one video, try to get 3 videos from them. If they want to send you one product, try to get 3 products for one video. Try to get more so that you can earn more and provide more services to them. Eventually, when you start getting paid collaborations, you will have to sign up as an LLC. I'm actually not sure what it stands for in English, but in Dutch it's called eenmanszaak, which means that you have a business on your own. You're like a freelancer. This way you can ensure yourself that you will not be held accountable for damages that you cause to the brands. For example, when a video didn't go viral or misled certain customers, you will be insured from that, so you don't have to pay enormous fees. And this way you can also pay taxes as you should. And you can open up a business account so you can send invoices to these brands, which makes you more reliable and professional. And when you start getting paid collaborations, something you should also consider is making a contract. That way you can collaborate based on your terms and conditions, and you should get this contract checked by a lawyer. That's very important. I was very lucky because my roommate has a dad who is a lawyer and he will check my contract. I'm so happy because it's quite hard to set something up like a contract because it's so official and you really have to read between the lines and make sure that everything is very clear. For example, usage rights, the time that they can use your ads. You want to make sure that they can't use your ads forever because that way they will make money off of you for as long as they like, but you want to limit that. And the most important tip that I can give you is just enjoy the process. Just learn your skills, focus on yourself, grow, and realize that you are your own biggest asset. In your 20s especially, the focus should be on becoming a better version of yourself and honing new skills, perfecting them, so that you will eventually make more money. But money shouldn't be the first priority here. because when you start to become better, you will attract money and it will flow to you. Now, also figure out why you want to keep going. What is your reason to start your own business? What do you want to do? What do you want to create? Who do you want to impact, and how do you want to present yourself? That's very important, because when it gets tough, and it will get tough, you need to realize why you're doing this to keep you going. And at the same time, talk to other people about it. Tell your friends, tell your family, and share with them what you're doing. So first of all, you will hold yourself accountable because you told everyone that you want to become this UGC creator or start your business, and now they are expecting things from you. But it also helps you to get more free advice and test with other people what works and what doesn't, and kind of discuss what you're doing and why. Another very important tip is put yourself out there. Go to creator events, attend workshops, join classes on videography, editing, business, negotiation tactics, because that way you can meet like-minded people and build your own community, because a community is of utmost importance to keep you accountable, but also to keep you sane. It really helps when you have people that you can level with, talk to, because that way you are protected from burning out or just losing your mind, because I'm literally here in my room alone talking to this camera, like, what the fuck? Now, it will also help you to find a mentor, find someone who already did what you wanted to do and who can help you starting off this business, and who can help you through the journey by providing valuable advice. But the most important tip that I can give to you is just one word: consistency. Consistency, consistency, consistency. This is the most important part of your journey, because when you get that ball rolling, it will keep rolling and you will build momentum. And that way you can grow, 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 and eventually become very successful. At least that's what I hope I will be. And things that I would keep in mind is reach out to at least 10 brands a day and change your portfolio, keep perfecting it, keep changing it by tips that you got, things that you learned, and make new videos to add to your portfolio or replace in your portfolio so you can keep your videos at the highest quality possible. Now, that was everything that I wanted to share today. And I want to thank you a lot for listening. It still feels very surreal that I am starting my own podcast, and I actually interviewed my very first UGC creator yesterday. She's called Sarah. She's a 30-year-old successful UGC creator in the Netherlands, and I really look up to her. I'm really excited to share that interview as well. I hope that I provided value to you and I could inspire you to create, and I will see you soon.